What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a test for COVID or any of the viruses, I hope you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Tuesday edition of the Virus Update for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. You just clicked onto the channel that gives you the latest news, information, data, cases, really anything I can find about these viruses that can make us sick. Want to be informed of what's going on with the levels of the viruses in the United States and other places around the world? Subscribe to my channel down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, and of course leave your comments down below, and ways to support the channel are also listed down below. Already, we do have quite a few news stories to talk about today. Some of them are just data, post from X. Starting off with New Zealand, and then after we do the news, we'll take a look at some daily data, we'll take a look at New York State, and I do have a couple of wastewater sites that I have picked out on a list here that we do need to take a look at, because it's getting to be that time of year we got to start following other viruses. So we like to look for clues or hints as to what may be happening. Starting off with New Zealand, though, from Dennis the COVID Info Guy, New Zealand's COVID Weekly Update, September 29th to October 5th, 2025. New cases in New Zealand, 198. That's down by 19.1%. Reinfections, 130, or 65.6% of the cases. 4 deaths have been reported. That's up by 33.3%. Total deaths, 4,802. That's their pandemic total. So that's up by 4. In the hospital, 21. Hey, that's actually down by 16.1%. 65.6% of cases were reinfections. ICU data is not available. Sadly, 9 deaths reported today. Allow me to explain. COVID. 4 of them were COVID. 1 not COVID. 6 of them, the status was not available. 1 was in their 70s, 7 in their 80s, and 1 was aged over 90. Of these people, 4 were women and 5 were men. Alrighty, moving on now to this. Queensland Respiratory Surveillance Report. We're in Australia now. From September 30th to October 6th, 2025. Reported COVID cases. Looks to be some good news here. Reported COVID cases, 337, down by 14.8%. Influenza, 1,479. That is down by 19.5%, though still an elevated number. RSV, 487. That is down by 25.3%. Now, a little bit of a mixed picture when we come to the hospitalizations. 34 COVID hospitalizations. It's not a lot, but that is up by 3%. Influenza, 76. We're down by 30.2%. RSV, again, 42. Not a lot, but that was up by 7.6%. So a few more than the previous week. And, yeah, that's what's going on in Queensland this week. I thought maybe there was another tweet attached to it, but there's not. COVID outbreaks in Australian residential aged care facilities. From October 2nd, 2025, also from Dennis the COVID Info Guy. Thank you so much for what you post on X. I believe he posts on Blue Sky as well. If you haven't followed Dennis the COVID Info Guy, it's at Big Bad Dennis. You should really follow this. He posts a lot of good information about several different countries, not just Australia, not just New Zealand. He posts U.S. stuff as well. Alrighty, active cases. This is Australian residential aged care facilities. As we know here in the United States, nursing homes or long-term facilities. Active cases, 290. Yeah, unfortunately, that went up by 53.4%. Active outbreaks, 54. That's up by 14.8%. Resident cases, 230, up by 54.3%. Staff cases, 60, up by 50%. Reported deaths in 2025, 390, or up by 3. So, yeah, that's not good. Pandemic total, 7,594 aged care COVID deaths since the beginning of the pandemic. We really need to do more to keep the residents safe. And I know I've said this before. I know I've read you these numbers before. Maybe you're just joining the channel. Maybe you're new. Maybe you're a new subscriber. Hey, if not, subscribe down below. In 2020, in Australia, they had 686 reported COVID deaths in residential aged care facilities. 2021, it was down to 226. But look at this. When precautions started going poof, they went all the way up to 3,855 reported deaths in 2022. That's really bad. And yeah, it was better in 2023 with 1,359, 1,078 in 2024. And now we're back down to 390 in 2025. But mind you, the year's not over. So that number's going to go higher. Could it get up to 500? I don't know. They're coming into spring now. Yes, while we're going into fall here in the United States, they're going into spring and the warmer months. But you get the idea here. Yeah, they were high numbers in the early days. Yeah, they went even lower in 2020. I should say, yeah, they had deaths in the early days. But, man, take a look at this. Right when the precautions went poof, look what happened. 3,855 reported deaths. I mean, the deaths went way up when we stopped protecting people. This is in Australia. It's a problem all around the world, but take a look here. You can see now there's less deaths because, well, COVID is not as bad of an issue as it was in the early days, but nonetheless, it is still out there. It is by no means over. It's not going away, and if we ever see something new with a new evolution pop up, it could be really bad once again. All right, moving on now to this. South Carolina announced additional measles cases. Yes, they had 8 cases. Well, 8 now has become 9, and 9 has become 10. So 2 more cases in upstate South Carolina. Yes, this is not a good thing. That outbreak continues to grow. Of course, we will continue to follow it. Whooping cough surges in North Carolina. Fading vaccine immunity likely plays a role. And, well, let's just go down. I have the little fine tool added here. North Carolina, as of September 1st, is up to 661 cases of whooping cough this year. So, yes, whooping cough continuing to be a problem in North Carolina, continuing to be a problem all across the United States. We do not have updated numbers here in the United States, and I want you to draw attention to this. However, there are likely more cases that haven't been identified due to misdiagnosis, underdiagnosis, and fading immunity, according to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. So apparently the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia is really keeping an eye on this here in my city. All right, moving on to this. Nearly 1 in 3 adults with severe long COVID have rare heart rhythm disorder, data suggests, known as POTS. Yes, we're talking about POTS, P-O-T-S. An uncommon heart rhythm disorder occurs in nearly 1 to 3 adults with severe long COVID, most of them middle-aged women. Swedish researchers have written, so yikes, this is not good. And in case you're wondering what that is, in contrast, the condition affected less than 1% of the Swedish population before the pandemic. POTS, P-O-T-S, causes a rapid heartbeat when standing up after laying down, and sometimes at rest and during exercise, because standing up triggers dizziness. Affected patients prefer to sit or lie down. Yeah, so yikes. A third had chronic diseases before the infection, but again, this is not a good thing. Less physical activity capacity, and even those who don't have severe long COVID, there's a lot of people that have less physical activity capacity. I'm one of them. I mean, it seems like to me, if I hit a limit for the day, once I hit that limit, I'm starting to yawn, I'm getting tired, but I can never fall asleep during the daytime for a nap. I try, and I'm laying there like, yeah, I can't do this. Maybe it's because my mind's constantly keep going, but man, when it comes to 8, 9 o'clock sometimes, yeah, there's been times where it's like 8:30 at night, and I'm falling asleep in a chair watching TV, then I get up, and I end up being up for another hour, and then it's right back to sleep, and yeah, some nights nowadays, I'm getting 10, even close to 11 hours of sleep. It's crazy, but I don't have POTS, and I would not consider myself to be a severe long COVID person. I would say maybe near the moderate category, just because of how unpredictable it is, and just because of if I hit my limit for a day, man. But if I do have a day where I hit 11 hours worth of sleep, the next day seems to be a very good day. It seems like no, I don't want to say 100% recharged, but more recharged than I was the previous day, and then eventually another stretch will come where I get tired. Today seems to be a better day so far. Knock on wood. I'm actually going back out to work this afternoon. I worked this morning. I'm going out again this afternoon, just only for a couple more hours. I really don't want to overdo it. That seems to be a thing. If I overdo it, the next day is just awful for me. But enough about long COVID for a moment. We do have to talk about other viruses yet again. And in this particular case, we're talking about England. Now, this is from Turn. Username One Good Turn over on X. And he often posts stuff from the UK. He's been talking about the current COVID wave. Now he's talking about flu. And this is something I think we really should pay attention to. Because you remember in the early days of the COVID pandemic, what would happen in the UK or England first would often be about 4 weeks later it would happen here. Now there's a disconnect. Sometimes we do our own thing. Sometimes they follow us. That's not the case anymore. But for flu, I think that may still be the case. Because last year, I believe that's what was happening. So let's pay attention to this. Confirmed flu A cases have grown by 400% in 3 weeks. This is from a lab in England, lab confirmed cases. And he says we may be in for a very hard and potentially early flu season. Watch this week's flu and COVID surveillance reports closely. There'll be an update on Thursday out of the UK. And I think this is important to follow because this is what happened over in Australia and New Zealand. They saw things just rapidly go up early. They had record numbers, record levels. So I think early signs point towards it's going to be a bad season for flu over there, and it could be a bad season here. We got 2 wastewater sites to look at in a moment, and I do have them written down. It even says on my note there. Now, you can't see it, but it even says flu A. That's why we're looking at 2 wastewater sites in the United States. Give me about 4 or 5 more minutes and we'll get to that. Iran reports now. Before I even read this, we're going to switch over to bird flu for a second. Iran reports bird flu outbreak in poultry. Yes, it looks to be that there is a flock of 90 birds dealing with an outbreak, and 10 birds have been killed in the flock. And then moving over to this, Netherlands to call 71,000 chickens after bird flu detection. I don't recall. Did we share this story on Sunday? I don't even remember. I saw a story for it today, so I posted it on X. Why not? Yeah, bird flu, it is very much so still a real issue and still a problem. All right, I'm going to show you Canada, even though it probably hasn't updated. There you go. COVID-19 is moderate, flu A is low, flu B is low, RSV is low. If anyone from Canada knows if they stopped updating this, let me know down below, and I'm going to check with a few sources that I have. I'm going to ask them if maybe this just no longer updates. I'm going to find out. All right, I got to show you air qualities. Of course, needing to zoom this out. I was looking at it locally because on a major road here, there was an accident involving a truck carrying batteries, and the truck caught fire. There was an accident. Yeah, I thought there would be bad air quality there, but turns out the nearest sensor is to the southwest of the place. Our wind is going southwest to northeast today, so obviously would not be picked up by that air quality sensor. Take a look at what's going on in the West Coast. Yeah, things are not good again in the Pacific Northwest state of Washington, portions of Idaho. Actually, yeah, Idaho too. We're seeing wildfire smoke once again, and this also includes California. Yeah, not a good thing. Let's take a look at what's going on with EMS calls today. We do see a few calls ongoing in portions of Pinellas County, Florida. We do see breathing problem showing up and unknown problems showing up. Philadelphia on Monday. This is not good. I'm not happy about this. 864 EMS incidents, and last check, we'll see if this is still the same, very busy right now in the surrounding areas of Philadelphia. Yeah, very busy. Montgomery County, 19 calls right now. We're seeing cardiac emergency, fall victim, general weakness, respiratory emergencies, strokes showing up. Not seeing cardiac arrest, but again, very busy. Chester County, last I saw, was very busy as well. You can kind of see that there. Take a look. You can see a preview, and we'll have to see if that's still the case. I hope it's not. It is. Wow. Yeah, look at all these calls. This is busy for Chester County. In fact, we're going to go full screen here so we can read some of this. Wow, I'm seeing sick person, respiratory difficulty, overdose, allergic reaction, injured person, unconscious, respiratory emergency again, sick person, diabetic emergency, another respiratory emergency, injured person, fall, lift assist, another sick person, heart problems. You get the idea here. Very busy in Chester County, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, I cannot trust our wastewater data. We were going upward. things were going upward. Then a whole bunch of data just went poof. The data's never returned, and now it shows us going downward, even back when we were going upward. I don't know what the deal is. I can tell you this much. This is not just Pennsylvania. Nationally, colds are starting to increase. I saw someone post that, what is it called, rhinoviruses? Yeah, they're starting to go up. Colds, general colds. And you know what? Probably people are probably saying, oh, well, that's no big deal. Prior to 2020, it probably wasn't, unless you were immunocompromised. Let's face it, COVID has wrecked immune systems. With weakened immune systems, something that would just be minor, such as a cold, is hitting people much harder now. Maybe you have asthma from COVID. Maybe you have, long COVID in general. It's hitting those people hard. So don't just think a regular cold nowadays is no big deal. No, if you already have post-COVID issues, a cold can hit you much harder than it would have prior to you having long COVID. I'm hearing about this in people. It's not good. It's really bringing them down. It's taking a long time for people to clear some of these colds. They're tested negative for COVID. They're saying, wow, I've taken several COVID tests. It's just negative, and wow, this is really hitting me hard. Something's going around. Yeah, that just because COVID's out there and it is the biggest issue we talk about on channel, regular colds have not gone away, and with more people having weakened immune systems, they're transmitting it easier too. I mean, there's more people out there, so if more people are infected, there's more chances you could get infected from one of these viruses. It's crazy. And here we are, we sit here and do absolutely nothing. So, again, early indications. Bad winter is coming for respiratory viruses. Take a look at this. Some hospitals still dealing with problems in eastern Pennsylvania. And I don't know why I'm going to click on this one in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Hasn't been up. No, it hasn't updated since September, and then there's still a note there from August. I don't understand that. Take a look at what's going on in New Jersey. We do see a patient volume issue at Cooper University Hospital again today. That's been busy lately. Inspire Medical Center, Mullica Hill, full and total divert. Penn Medical Center has a psychiatric issue. And now moving up to New York City, where we see there were 359 new cases. Not concerned about that. It's really dropping off now. Hospitalizations still dropping, but today went up a little bit. 446. I believe they're going to probably resume their dropping again tomorrow, or should. So 446 hospitalizations, 33 people in the ICU. Alrighty, let's take a quick hydration break. Then we'll take a look at a couple wastewater sites, and that'll be it for today. Water is the drink of choice today. Alrighty, I do have some notes here. Lawrence, Kansas. We need to take a look at that for flu A. First off, nationally, COVID is medium. The Northeast is still listed at in the high category. You can see here. Yeah, there's a wonky movement at the end. It's dropping. I think that's going to correct. Exit out. It's dropping. We should see the Northeast go to medium relatively soon. All right. Why are we going to Florence? Lawrence, Kansas, not Florence. Lawrence, Kansas. Well, here's why. Take a look. I've set it up for flu, and you can see here, medium flu is now showing up there. Yes, COVID is medium. COVID's actually going back up. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. But flu A, influenza A, is medium and slowly rising at this time. Some hepatitis A detections as well. Now let's go back to the Northeast. I have Portland, Maine, so we need to do a checkup. This is a follow-up of something we've looked at in the past. And we can see here, first off, COVID's medium. It's dropping somewhat. It's not a rapid drop, but it is dropping. Influenza A. Take a look at this. Influenza A. 1 update, 2, 3, 4, 5 updates now show influenza A rapidly rising. I'm hoping this corrects to less harsh, but influenza A, Portland, Maine, now listed, and I'm going to pull that back up again. It is now listed at high for influenza A, so this is not a good thing. We had it here. Now it's showing us the national level. You get the point. Portland, Maine is now listed at high when it comes to influenza A. I want to check Lewiston, Maine, real quickly. We do see here influenza A there is low, so that's good. The only reason why I'm checking there, people don't just all live in Portland, Maine. Yeah, people do. A lot of people commute from the Northwest. I know this because I've been going to Maine to vacation for many, many, many years since I was a kid, and a lot of people commute from areas like back here in the Lakes region, even further north, down to Portland, Maine. There's ports there, hence the name Portland. There's a lot of different things there. Real quick, going back to Lewiston for a second, saw something concerning. Ooh, look at norovirus rapidly going up. we're going to end today on norovirus. Let's head down to the south, and I got to show you this. Take a look at this. Norovirus is now listed at high in the south. Yeah, that's been continuing to go up. That's not good. We're seeing influenza A low, but it is going up. RSV low, and that's also going up as well. So again, the theme for today's video, early signs of a bad respiratory virus season coming our way. Alrighty, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's update. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, share this video with anyone you know, leave your comments down below. Don't forget to list where you're from. If there's something you're not seeing, maybe there's a state you want me to include, if I can find anything, I'll do my best to do that. Let me know down below. Ways to support the channel are listed down below. I'll see everyone again next time. Until I see you again next time, stay safe, everyone. Have a fantastic Tuesday afternoon, and thanks for watching.